Hello dear learner. In this video, we are going to learn US accounting rule, which is also known as modern or practical accounting rule. Before we get into the actual rule under US accounting rule, let us understand why we have to follow US accounting rule and why not golden accounting rule. There are very good reasons for it. Number one, terms used under US accounting rule are very familiar and simple, such as liability, asset, expenditure, income. Anybody can understand the meaning of these terms, right? The second reason, under US accounting rule, no accounts classifications are required. See, when we are passing accounting entries in golden accounting rule, we have to identify account classification for each and every ledger, whether it's a real, nominal or personal account. This particular task is not there at all under US accounting rule. Number three, the impact of passing journal entry on financial statement can be identified at the time of passing journal entries only under US accounting rule, which will help a lot when you are making the financial statement analytics. Number four, very interesting reason is US accounting rule is simple and easy. That's the reason we are following US accounting rule. With this basic understanding, let us get into the actual accounting rule. There are four set of accounting rules under US accounting. The two set of rules for balance sheet and two set of rules for profit and loss account, that is P&L. So let's understand one by one. Rule for liability. When the liability ledger balances increases, we have to credit that particular ledger. When the liability ledger balances decreases, we have to debit that particular liability ledger. So next rule is asset. When the asset ledger balances increases, we have to debit, and when it is decreases, we have to credit it. So third rule, which is related to profit and loss account, expenditure. When the expenditure ledger balance increases, we have to debit it. When the expenditure ledger balance decreases, we have to credit it. Income. When the income ledger balances increases, we have to credit it. When the income ledger balances decreases, we have to debit it. So that's about it. These are the four set of rules under US accounting rule. I'm sure now you might be thinking, in golden accounting rule, there are only three set of rules, but here it is four set of rules. You might be comparing and thinking that looks like US accounting rule is more complicated than golden accounting rule. You are wrong. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to simplify this US accounting rule for you. You can see four set of rules, right? Liability, asset, expenditure and income. Just spend 5 to 10 seconds and understand which are the rules are similar. Now you can see liability rule are similar to the income rule. Similarly, asset rule are similar to the expenditure rule. No four rule, there is only two set of rules, right? What are those two set of rules? Here it is. So, asset and expenditure increases, we have to debit it. When this is decreases, we have to credit it. One set of rule. Second set of rule, liability and income increases, you have to credit it. Liability and income balance decreases, you have to debit it. Only two set of rule you have to understand and remember. Easy? So let me give you one more hack. It's a funniest hack for you. If at all you find very difficult to remember these two set of rules. So you know, whenever we are talking, right, we tell debit first and credit next. We never tell that credit and debit. We always tell debit and credit, right? So that means debit comes first and credit comes next. In the English alphabetic, A comes first, Z comes last. It's not A for apple in case of finance and accounting professionals. It is A for asset, E for expenditure, L for liability, I for income. So this is how we have to pronounce. Now we will see what is the correlation we can do. So when you are passing journal entry for asset, so asset increases, what we have to do? Debit it. Debit comes first. The first A, first debit. So like this you can remember A, B, C, D, E, the first two set of rules, and debit. So whenever A and E comes, that means asset and expenditure, think positively always. When it is increasing, you have to debit it. When it is decreasing, obviously it's a reversal of this particular effect, right? Similarly, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, right? I and L, when it is increasing, what you have to do? You have to credit it. It's as simple as that. Just remember one part of the story. That's enough for you to remember entire US accounting rule. A means debit. So you can add one more, A and E, asset and expenditure, When it increases, you have to debit it, and when it is reverse the transaction. Similarly, income and liability. When it increases, you have to credit it, and when it is decreases, you have to debit it. That's about it. It's simple as this. So keep on practicing. You'll be able to remember entire rule, and you'll be able to pass journal entries within a fraction of second. Within 2-3 seconds, you'll be able to pass entire journal entry. All the best. Thank you.